Hi everyone, this is Sabrina from Scrappin with Sabrina, and today we're going to make a thank you card. We're going to start out with the base of our card. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper cut down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 for the base. I've already gone ahead and done some inking in the Tim Holtz Vintage Photo Distress Ink. Our next layer is a green piece of cardstock. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and I've gone ahead and done some embossing using this edge embossing folder. And the set is actually a Tim Holtz set, and it has 4 different pieces, a larger piece, and then 3 small border pieces, and it's called Thankful. And the leaf border that I am using is called Leaf Garland. And then I've got a few different stamp sets. I am using Papertrey Ink, Up and Away. I'm using a thank you stamp from that set. This is called Mega Mixed Messages, and it's all sorts of different kinds of, different greeting card messages, and I'm using the thanks so much in that one. And, I'm using more than that. I'm using the thanks so much, the thanks, and the merci. So we have a few different kinds of thanks stamps that we're using today. And then this is close to my heart. It's called Harvest Happiness, and I used just the tip of this leaf border stamp. The other things that we have here, another matte piece that's going to actually layer on top of our card. So we have our base, our green embossed piece, and this white piece. And this white piece is cut at 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Then I have this strip here that I've already border punched. It's cut at 4 1/2 by 1 inch, and then border punched across the top. And this piece here is cut at 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and then also trimmed down with a border punch. And what I did is I put it onto my Cricut mat, and I used the Create a Critter pumpkin cut and cut out a negative image. I already also went ahead and added some Papertrey ink twine to the back. And last but not least, we have this little piece. It's cut at 3 by 2, and what I did, you can see my pencil image that I traced around the negative space of this piece. And we're going to go ahead and do a bunch of stamping. So first, we are going to start with our stem, and we're going to use the thanks stamp. So we're going to ink this up, and I went ahead and did the tracing so that I can see where I want to place my stamps. I have a scratch piece of paper so I can stamp around that, and I'm at a little bit of a funny angle because I need to really be able to see directly above what I'm doing, because this is pretty precise. So I'm going to stamp the TH, and I kind of want to make sure that, well, really it's the THA that I can see. And then I'm going to try to get the NKS on there as well. Okay. And I'm going to clean this off because we're going to be using a different color now with this thanks stamp. Okay, so now I'm going to be alternating between different stamps and different kinds of inks. And next I'm going to use Autumn Terracotta, and I'm going to stamp Merci, which is French for thank you. And I'm going to do that in a few different places. And then I'm going to go to our thanks, and I'm doing that in Garden Green. So Autumn Terracotta and Garden Green, those are both close to my heart colors. And I'm going to put them kind of next to the Merci. Okay, and then I have a thanks so much, and this thanks so much is only going to be stamped one time in Smoky Plum, so it kind of stands out on the card. Okay, against the other stamps. And then now I'm going to use my thank you in Vineyard Berry. And it's okay that I'm going over the pumpkin, because when we put this negative image piece over, we're only going to see what we want to see. So I'm going to keep at that. Now I'm going to go back to my Merci. And then I just start filling in the blanks. And when I first started doing this, I kept goofing up with the different inks. I was putting the different stamps not in my consistent colors, so I had to kind of play with this a few times. I'm trying not to do that now. I'm going to try to fill in some of these little spaces here. And now I'm going to go back to the bigger thank you. And let's see here how this is starting to look. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now we're going to move on to the next step. So now our next step is I'm going to use this Making Memories date stamp, and it has these little tiny stamps. This one is a very, very tiny leaf, and I'm going to use it to fill in more of the negatives, more of the space here on the pumpkin. So I am just going to use different colors and just fill in some of the blank spaces. Okay, so we used our green. Now I'm going to use, we used Garden Green already. I'm going to use Autumn Terracotta. And it's just the cutest tiny little leaf image that came with the date set. I have had this set for so many years. It's probably one of the first things I bought. And I think I actually am out of the current dates, so I'll be using it, you know, if I go back and do projects, you know, where I'm dating things from the past. And I'm moving around how I'm holding the stamp so that I can get the leaves going in different directions. And I'm tapping it pretty lightly so that when I tried it, when I was first trying this out, I felt like if I pressed too hard it would make the ink kind of bleed together. So I'm just pressing really lightly, and it's doing a pretty crisp image. Okay, so let's see how that looks. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take my Tim Holtz Antique Linen, and I am going to do some inking over this. So as you can see, the thanks so much that is in the smoky plum color stands out a little bit more than the other images that are similar. And then for the stem, I'm going to go back to Vintage Photo and do it a little bit darker because it is the stem. Okay, so when we cover that up, I like that. And then the other thing I want to do on here is I've already put down my pop dots, and I'm trying not to make them stick onto the paper. But what I want to do is just kind of go around the edges here where the negative image is cut and make it a little bit darker. So let me go ahead and do that off camera, and then I will be back. Okay, so I went ahead and finished doing the inking around the negative space of the pumpkin that's cut out, and I think it just gives it such a pretty effect. I went ahead and taped down the white piece where we did all of our stamping with the different thank you sentiments and the leaf. And this is embossed. It's embossed with Versamark ink, and it's the Close to My Heart Harvest Happiness stamp set. So it's this long border, and I just used the tip of it to make the stem of the pumpkin, and then I went ahead and embossed it with Stampendous embossing powder in the Pearl Luster, and the color is called Emerald. And this paper is My Mind's Eye. It's Fall in Love paper glitter stack, and it's got a really pretty leaf image that's already embossed onto the paper. That's the way the paper came. And as I mentioned, we already have our not Close to My Heart, our Papertrey Ink twine on there. So we're ready to put everything together. I went ahead and adhered all the layers to the base of our card, and I have pop dots on the back of this piece, so we can go ahead and just position that right on top, just like that. So it's pop dotted to give it a little bit of dimension. And then we have our different pieces now to put together. I have a Papertrey Ink button, and I already put some twine through it, so that's just going to go up here to cover the where we knotted the thread, or the twine rather. And then we've got our different sentiments, and oops, it looks like I got some ink on this. I'll have to go ahead and change that out. I don't know how I did that. It was just sitting over here. But anyway, I'll go ahead and put it down for now, and then I'll change it out. So this thank you is going to go right here. And then this tag is used, the tag I used for this is Quick Cuts. It's a part of a birthday set, so it was big enough to put this thank you on it. And then this little punch is a Stampin' Up! Punch. So this one is going to be positioned right here, and I already have a pop dot on that. And then I have another little punch with Merci on it. And this has just a little glue dot on here because I'm putting it kind of on top of the twine. So I don't need it pop dotted, I just need it to stick down. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and fix that. So I went ahead and fixed the thank you. I just punched out a new one, stamped it, and did my inking. I added some brown rhinestones here in the corner, and just a couple up here at the top of the pumpkin stem. So here is our card. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and I want to wish you all a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.